Hey everyone, Soundwave84 here, the Transformers Earthrise review. In this review, take a look at Deluxe Class Trailbreaker. He is one of the larger deluxe figures, which is about the size of an old deluxe figure from a few years ago. He is based off of the Hoist mold that we got in the first wave of Earthrise. So this is the packaging. It's very standard for what you're getting in Earthrise. You do have his box art on the side, which is very nice. I do like the artwork on these. Turn around in the back, you've got 18 steps, gets them all the way around. This side, you get your normal Earthrise art. Then your obligatory Galvatron up top, which he will be coming out in Kingdom. So pretty cool. Let's take a look at the figure. And here is Trailbreaker, the figure. It is a nice looking Trailbreaker, very much an homage. It's a mix of toy and tune. As a cartoon, it illuminated the big shoulder things, the big back of the arm pads hanging off, which form the size of the vehicle. In the G1 toy, that was there. And Hoist in the cartoon, they left it there. But in the cartoon, the character model for Trailbreaker, they eliminated that. He had just the arms. It's pretty much just Hoist. Just retooled slightly, and we'll take a look at all that. I want to take a look at everything Trailbreaker comes with. Alright, so straight out of the package, you get this. Then you have this to the side of him, which will be the camper top in vehicle mode. This does just attach to the back of the robot. You see this little slot down here. When you turn the figure around, there's this little tab sticking out right here. All this is going to do is just tap over onto that, and then it'll be on the back part of the robot. He also comes with his little hand cannon. Stick it in his hand. I think he has it on this hand. Just insert it in. It's got the big mold here that goes all the way over. Now Hoist was molded the same way, and it kind of really stood out in Hoist that I thought it was just disjointed with him, because then in the cartoon I always remember him having a small, and it just kind of came down to that. And this isn't as bad on Trailbreaker, I'd say, as that is. But Non-F is making a attached piece just like they did with the Hoist to make it a little more streamlined. Which will mean you'll have to remove the hand to put that on. We'll do that when we compare him with Hoist. Other things he's got his little thing up here and his little shoulder mounted. The gun is on a hinge back here. This kind of blocks some movement, but you can always pull that back. And you get a little more movement out of both these pieces. This piece here, where that tab is, that it actually has a hinge as well, so this can hinge back. And part of that is also for transformation. Otherwise, you get all the bells and whistles you got in Hoist, who, if you remember, made me moist. Got here, still does just the same. He's got deep knee bends. He's got upper thigh swivels. Hips can go out to there. Back not as far because it hits this red thing back here. You can go full splits on the side. You got your upper bicep swivels, deep elbow bends. You got your wrist swivels. I'll show it with this one here. So you can swivel your wrist. You see some mushroom peg. That swivels as well. Shoulders go up to here. The whole piece here 360 around. So you got decent range of movement with the figure. And the head is on a ball joint. So you got some up and down, and you can 360 it all the way around. And plus you do have a 360 waist swivel. So lots of articulation here with, oh yeah, I didn't do that. He's got the angle tilts, so he's got tons of articulation. You're going to get it all here with Trailbreaker. Now let's compare him with Hoist. Alright, so here's Trailbreaker with Hoist. You can see Hoist here has the hand attachment from Non-F Productions, which also came with some fillers to kind of fill in the gaps here in his arms and in his inner thighs. You'll probably also get that in the set with Trailbreaker to fill in those spots there. The hollow bits don't really bug me as much. I'm fine with it as long as it's not this overly blatant. Power of the Prime's Voyager class Starscream comes to mind. His whole back is like a waffle. But these guys don't bother me as much with the hollowness. I do like this slim down hand cannon. And what you had to do, you had to remove his hand, which just pops out some mushroom peg. Just slides in and turns, and it locks it into his hand that way. And it does support blast effects as well. So what has changed from Trailbreaker to Hoist, or from Hoist to Trailbreaker, I should say? Really not much. You do get new crotch. The crotch pieces here are different. You can see here the different design elements on the actual crotch. I need to stop rubbing that. And then the hips here are also different. He's more plain. You know, he's got more detail on his hips. And that is really about all that's different, besides, of course, the head sculpt. And the little piece here that's white and it's gray on Trailbreaker are exactly the same piece. He does get this gun back here. So, of course, the back of the figure is going to look different. But the little bar here that sits back here is exactly the same molded piece here. This is orange here. On him, it is red. But everything else is exactly the same. It's just a lot of aesthetic changes and just the looks, the colors, and that makes it, you know, they look similar, but they look different. And I think some of the slight changes, like the crotch piece, really helps try to sell that. Of course, changing the back also makes them look a little different. But of course, this is G1. They're the same, just slightly different. And here's Trailbreaker next to Siege Ironhide. You can see the red on Siege Ironhide is a brighter, bolder red, whereas the red on Trailbreaker is a very dull red. And it still stands out next to his light grays and his blacks, and it makes it look more red. But when you put it next to this Ironhide, it totally makes it look just really dulled and just sort of washed out, almost like a dark pink to a red. And let's compare that with the new Earthrise Ironhide, where the colors are more the same. You notice in Earthrise Ironhide's reds are not a bright, bold red. It's more of a dull red. And that red here is what you're getting here. But that's the color red you're getting out of Earthrise. A little more dull, not as bright and expressive. Alright, so let's transform Trailbreaker. Very simple here. What we're going to do, the first thing is remove his gun from his hand. Pull it out, put it to the side. Bring his arms down here. Arms here at the bicep swivel. Turn that in like this. After you do that, come back here to the back side. You want to open up this camper top. You can see where there's molded places for this and that. So you just want to fold these in like so. Bring the gun down and it just goes flat right inside there. Close that back up. Take this, you just untab it from there. Pull the hinge part and straighten this out. Take them at the head. You want to fold it back this way, so you want to push it till it pops, and then we'll just fold it inside here to push till you hear click. Then you want to untab the front of the truck from here, so just pull that out, bring it all the way up like this. Take his arms, you want to bring these up like this, bring his shoulders like so, and we're going to now, this piece here is going to go in like that. So just do the same on this side, bring this out and just fold it in like this. And now this piece here is going to collapse. This right here is going to go up under here. These tabs here are going to go right in here. So we want to hinge this down like this. And then we're going to tab this together. Helps if I can see what I'm doing like that. Come down here to his feet. There are these little slots right here, and there are these tabs on the back of his thighs. You're going to bend them at the knee. Don't grab them from here, grab them from below the red. You want to leave that there. And you want to fold this all the way up, and that will tab in to his back of his thigh. Just bring it down. Now there are these slots here, tabs right here. You're going to bring that down. Also on the back of this, there are these little tabs, like half pegs, are going to go right into these peg holes. So it's just about lining that all up, and then you want to close it and then tab it together, and just lock that in. Come back up here to the front of the vehicle, make sure his arms are under here. Bring this down, and as you do so, you want to push him up here at the elbow, and it's going to go all the way up inside, and just close it down. You see how it kind of forms like a puzzle. And you just want to fold his hands down to the sides. And there you go. You have transformed Trailbreaker into his vehicle mode. Take his gun, and then you just want to place it right here into this peg hole. And then you are finished with Trailbreaker. I really do like it. Nice. I really like how they painted the tail lights. So let's take a look at him. And here is Trailbreaker in his vehicle mode. It is a nice throwback to the 1980s G1 Trailbreaker, and honestly it looks really good. My biggest complaint on the vehicle mode, and it's one of my complaints for the hoist mold too, is the back wheels don't get the same look as the front wheels. So it's kind of jarring in vehicle mode to see this one this way and that one with the little pop-on peg part sitting out. It just kind of throws off the overall look of the vehicle mode from the side comparison, but otherwise it looks really good head on and at all angles. Let's do a little comparison with Hoist. And there he is next to Earthrise Hoist. It's exactly the same mold. All thing that really changed is the back piece back here, and then of course the head sculpts change as well. Other things change, but in vehicle mode, that's really all you're really going to notice. And pretty much that's all that really differentiated them in G1 as well. It's nice. They did use a brighter blue translucent plastic for the headlights and the windshield. Here they did more of a smoke blue color for all that, so it does, it makes it stand apart even more so than what it would have than use the same colors on both. More comparisons. Here is Siege Red Alert and Earthrise Sunstreaker. Now, if you bought the Centurion set from Hasbro Pulse or wherever, from the Generation Selects figure, you got the accessories or the weapons pack with that, and you would have got this radar dish here, which is an homage or a callback to Trailbreaker in the first 3-part miniseries, More Than Meets the Eye, where he's out in the woods with Spike and Sparkplug, and they're spying on the Decepticons, and Trailbreaker had this sitting atop his camper, listening to the Decepticons' conversations. So it's a good little accessory, and it's something like Masterpiece figures include a lot. Just little one-offs here and there. The sad part about this is this didn't come with a figure. You had to buy something totally off the wall to get these extra accessories. Why could they pack it with it? Well, that would probably bring up the cost of some of these figures already. And they're trying to keep it in already a budget-friendly price of $20, So let's get to my final thoughts on Trailbreaker. Final thoughts on Trailbreaker. If you like the Earthrise Hoist mold, you're going to love Trailbreaker. I think he actually improves on the mold. I think having the actual camper back, it just suits the mold overall better. And the fact that you don't have so many gimmicks shoved in where you can do the ramp connecting system. I just think he holds the mold better. He's got the shoulder cannon, which does get hindered when you add that camper top to the back. It does hinder the range of movement that weapon can do. But I think he takes the mold. The colors look better. I like Trailbreaker as the overall look of a figure more so than Hoist. But I think, of course, in the cartoon, I think Hoist had the better characterization. But it's up to you, but this figure is excellent. I do recommend it. It is the best, in my opinion, mainline Trailbreaker figure we've gotten. And until the next one, peace out.